did Brady make Belichick or did Belichick make Brady? And I'm thinking that Brady had a lot to do with making Belichick because the truth of the matter is this: if you can give the ball to an offensive guy and he can do whatever he wants to, and you only have to really concentrate on one side of the ball, I think that you're not the coach that they're saying you are, because Peyton Manning ran his own offense, Tom Brady ran his own offense, and these coaches, I mean, the offensive coordinator with those guys, that's the best job in the world because these guys are coaching them. So I think we got to be a little bit more honest because we're seeing it. We're not seeing it like on some like, oh, this is a fluke. This has been happening ever since Tom left. No success.
So are you saying, I mean, like, hey, that's because of the chase thing. That's because of the chase.
Hey, well, let's dive into it, Smitty. I got a video. Let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
This team plays like they're exhausted. And the Patriot way, that's it. It exhausts these kids.
That's true.
And Tom Brady was the only reason you won anyway. All right? I'm just telling you the difference. Tom Brady was the absolute difference. Wow. I said from jump, they would never win again. Wow. I said they would never win again when that guy trotted down to Tampa. Yeah. All right, when it came out. All right? Because I know how draining that is to those kids. And that is what you're facing right now. You pick all the players, you do all this. Bill Belichick, greatest in the history. I will never dispute that, okay? I had my ass kicked by him a million times. But if you think for a minute that it wasn't about Tom Brady, you're absolutely.
So I'm confused. I'm confused now, Tank. He said the greatest of all time, Belichick, at the end, but he also said you didn't win without Brady. So
let me explain. You can't take away what he did. The facts are the facts. 6 Super Bowls are 6 Super Bowls, whether it was him, Brady, whoever was the main culprit of them winning. He was the head coach of that team. So due to his success and the facts that lays there, you can't remove that from history. So based upon just that, you can still label him as the quote-unquote greatest. But real football guys, people who played the game, who coached the game, who can really dive into the details and in the context, I always say, JB, context matters. You can also say, at the same time, if Brady was not there, there's no way in hell that Belichick has 6 Super Bowls, and I can make the argument he may not even have 1. So when you really take a step back and you say, who's truly the best coach? Okay, greatest is a different conversation. Greatest to me depends on your actual success and the numbers, the stats, the wins, etc. When you say who's the best coach, that means like strictly as a leader, X's and O's, who can get the most out of guys, who can do the most with the least. I don't think you put Belichick right there, number 1. Go ahead.
I can name 3 Super Bowls right now where the defense won the Super Bowl. It had not a fucking thing to do with Tom Brady. Let's just keep it real. You want to break down the court? You want to break down the scores of those Super Bowls? Please, let's talk the Rams. Please tell me that Tom Brady was fucking stellar in that game, and I'll sit here and tell you that I don't believe the narrative is correct. Like, this guy took a Giants team on defense to a Super Bowl with Bill Parcells and took a Cleveland Brown team. Cleveland Browns, when they were fucking atrocious, to the playoffs. That
was like a 99, JB. Come on.
How long you on that? I don't care when it was. Are you questioning Phil Jackson's championship?
No, time out, JB.
Thank you. Get him, Tank.
Coaches get credit for all-pro and Pro Bowl players that they don't even coach. I've seen so many coaches. I'm not going to name any names because they're great guys.
Name them.
But what happens is this. These coaches are asleep at the wheel. They draft a good player. He goes to the Pro Bowl. Now that's on that coach's resume, and he gets to go to the next team and say, hey, I made such and such a Pro Bowler, when that is definitely not the case. These guys come into the league talented, ready to go, and if you really want to know what happens in those meeting rooms, 9 times out of 10, the star player is telling the coach, nah, coach, we're going to do it like this. I like this better. And you don't see that. But these coaches get that's the only type of credit they can get. He went to the Pro Bowl. He went all pro. But that really had nothing to do with your coaching. it had more to do with who you picked. So if anybody, I'd give the scout a tip of the cap. But these coaches in the NFL don't coach, man. That's the one thing I learned when I got to the NFL. My college coach, they coached me. When I got to the NFL, those guys were like, hey, you're making way more money than me. I don't want to piss you off, and I just want to keep you happy. That's it.
Hey, I led the show off with saying exactly what you just said, and I love it. I hope both of you are against me every show because I've been whipping Smitty's ass for almost a year now, and I need some.
Well, now help's on the way. Help's here now. Let's go.
I got my nose tackle with me right now. I got my D-line help. We got a 3 technique in the nose. Better bring the cover team.
I gotta get Matt to switch over to offense, but then Matt and I disagree, so it's like fuck. Everyone's
a quarterback. We hate your con, JB.
Here the bottom line is though. The bottom line is Tank just mentioned something that I think goes against his point and favors my point. Like we talk in the media every single day on how shitty the rosters have been for Tom Brady, and he has no help, and he's never had help, and he's had white boys at receiver, and he's had Randy Moss for 1 year, which they didn't even win it that year. And now we're talking about the roster? I'm confused.
Well, I don't know.
Is it or not? Is it coaching or not?
Let me tell you something. There are players who are just great leaders of men. And let me tell you, that permeates through the huddle.
CEO.
Tom Brady is a guy that if you got butterflies in your stomach, if you look in his eyes, they all of a sudden go away. You know what I'm saying? And like when he's a special talent, a special leader, and that matters on the field. That's why everyone always says, "Oh, he's a coach on the field." That matters.
It's a fact, man. Listen, and I'm not saying that. One more thing, I'm not saying we should have expected Bill to win another Super Bowl by this point with Mac Jones. No. But you don't have to be this bad. These guys are horrible. They can't score on offense. Defense is shaky at best. And these guys they made the playoffs with 1 year. The first year when Brady left, I think it went like 10-6 or whatever. Pretty good season. Mac Jones rookie year. I was like, okay, Bill, there you go. Like, still looks pretty good. After that year, it's been a downward spiral. They look horrible. And it's like, you can't. How are you the greatest coach of all time? The greatest out of all these coaches. You're the number one. And your team is this bad after Brady leaves?
By the way, though, after Brady, he still went to the playoffs that year.
I said that 1 year.
We gotta start looking at other things too now. Like there's a whole debate.